But I remember thinking, I can't wait to love, because it finally was out of abundance. And when I got that, and you're going to hear me say that a lot, because that absolutely has to be the foundation. Because if that's not in the foundation, we're going to burn out. It's going to be coming out of weird motives or whatever else. That is foundation. I can put myself out there no matter how dark a place and not be destroyed. And so, needless to say, Calcutta has been formative. And needless to say, as hard as Calcutta is, I love where it takes me, and have ended up going back 7 or 8 times because of the profoundness of what happens. And some of the things that I want to share because of the profoundness of the lessons came via Calcutta. And part of this was about what I was saying earlier about how do I respond to the face of suffering. And some of the lessons that came was, here is need, and behind that need is this need, and this need, and this need. And you can do what I did initially, which was run across the street. And that's often culturally how we deal with things. There's a problem out there, we run the other way. And so, and like I said earlier, man, it took me a few years to figure this out. But even taking money, and I know some of you have been to India, and we were told, do not give money. You can cause a riot by the need is so great. And yet still here is this need. And so what I started doing was carrying food. And somebody asked for food, I'd give food. And you know, those of you who know me know something near and dear to my heart is food. And that's part of the thing that is absolutely so troublesome to me, of not being able to wrap my mind around not knowing where my next meal is going to come from. And so the most profound story for me, and what brought this all to a face that has to this day become a teacher, you see need all over the place. And I, like I said, would give food, and saw somebody digging through a trash heap. Now, remember I said people live in the streets. Everything happens in the street. So some people's job is to pick up and huge trash heaps, and then huge amounts of people digging through the trash looking for something to eat. Now that alone, it's hard for me to wrap my mind around that. And so there was a man who was digging, looking for something to eat. And so I went up to this man, tapped him on the shoulder to give him my granola bar. Now, let me tell you something, and I promise you this is what I would do. If I was hungry and didn't know where I was going to get my next meal, what I would do, if somebody came up and gave me a food, I would take my little granola bar, run, hide, eat it as fast as I can, and forget about you guys. And what this man did was went to his friend, tapped him on the shoulder, and broke the granola bar in half. Now, right there, that man became my teacher. I can say wonderful things about Mother Teresa and what an amazing teacher she was for me. But that man in that moment became my teacher, because I love out of my excess. If you're hungry, I will give you something to eat. And those of you who know me know that I have a hard time sharing my food. And so I will give you food, but it's after I'm full. Or if you need clothes, I will give you clothes, but it's after I'm done with them. Or if you need money, I will give you money. I will give you anything, but it's usually after I am done with it. And what I saw over and over and over again is people who gave out of their nothingness. Now, I'm telling you what, they become the teachers. And I could tell you stories for the rest of the time here about people that gave out of their nothingness and generously sharing. And so that was part of the attraction. That was part of what kept drawing me back, of these amazing teachers of how to love and loving out of nothingness.